Origin Chess, Home UX, and this is Wanna Fight America? 5 reasons the US military will make you dead. This is my channel, US military news, obviously. Apparently, I don't know how I missed this video. This feels like one of the, intro video, tutorial video, let's just say, of all the military video I've been seeing. America's military power, right? Always think when it comes to US military, things are more nuanced than that. When you see just like on paper, it's more than that, right? When you have a lot of things working, in your military, navy, air force, certain technology that you're developing, all that combined together exponentially gives you a level of power that others don't have, right? And this is a very interesting video right now to check out, because that Iran thing that 95 to 99% of all drones were shot down. Now I don't care what people say, that is an insane number. Oh, they knew or advanced. Oh, Iran didn't send their best drones. Come on, man, really? In the end, they shot down 95 to 99%. This is a flex, right? This is America's flex. So it's going to be very interesting watching this video. Let's watch it. Remember to subscribe, so that way I know which videos to react to more. I've been watching military style videos a lot in past multiple months. Before there was, I don't know, there is no theme to my channel. It's usually like history videos, that's how I started. Then video game, like I like video game. Then with mythologies, OSP videos, this and that. And now it's like military, like okay. I will always kind of watch geopolitics videos, but not at this level. And it's like kind of makes sense because nowadays like blowing up too much. So of course this is the time to watch it. So yeah, by the engagement this video gets, right? That way you can really help this channel, and that way I'll know which type of videos to react to more. So yeah, let's do it.
Want to fight America? 5 reasons the US military will make you dead. The United States is the most formidable military power the world has ever seen. Arguably, since the end of the Cold War, America has enjoyed a level of dominance unparalleled in history. Neither Rome nor the British Empire enjoyed such a level of superiority over rival powers. While the American military is not the largest on Earth.
Okay, is that true? I really need to think about that. British Empire was like spanning third across the world. The only reason that's because China and Russia kind of is like most of the land anyway. So third in that way, kind of dominated most places, right? So British Empire, was that really dominant at a level that nobody could touch it back then? British were like Spanish and French were like kind of like battling with each other. In today's world, you can't really reasonably think of any other country, even China in a way, that can fight against USA, like in that way, right? China is growing in power, but they don't have much of experience. How good are the equipment? There's many questions there, right? So maybe.
It is by far the best trained and best equipped force on the planet, putting rivals like Russia and China to shame. But it took generations to develop America's military into the world-beating force it is today. And it wasn't until the end of the Civil War that the US fielded armies that could challenge European militaries on the battlefield. From then onwards, it took 2 world wars before the US military finally established itself as the most dominant force on Earth. Here are...
Okay, another thing I just realized, I've been surprised by F-22 recently. I didn't even know F-22 existed until very recently, in a way, a year or two, right? But then I realized, wait a minute, first Iron Man movie, 2008, Iron Man fights against 2 F-22 Raptors. How the fuck did I miss that? And MCU, I mean, come on, man. They actually sold to F-22 Raptors? That's insane.
5 of all-time deadliest innovations in America's arsenal. Number 1. The Gatling Gun. First fielded during the American Civil War, which to this day is the deadliest war in US history with over 600,000 military dead, the Gatling gun was one of the first rapid-fire weapons in history. Consisting of multiple barrels rotating around a central axis, the weapon, invented by Richard Gatling, solved the problem of providing sustained fires for the first time in the gunpowder age. Initially, the U.S. Army, due to the service's conservative nature, was reluctant to adopt Gatling's invention. After Gatling had improved on his...
Yeah, man, cowboy hat, headphones, and like the cranking the shit out of it. Imagine the first time somebody come across that. What the hell is that? And then throughout the years, whenever like automatic guns become a thing, people are like, oh, that's overpowered. And then the Gatling thing comes, like, not just automatic, I'll spray the shit out of everything. Imagine that. Imagine the mentality. You're under fire, you just like constantly brrr, and just like, bullets are just like spraying on you. That's insane.
His initial 6-barrel design that fired 350 rounds per minute, the Army did eventually adopt the new weapon. It was first used in 1864 at the Battle of Petersburg in Virginia. After the end of the Civil War, the Army used a 10-barrel Gatling gun that could fire 400 rounds per minute during various conflicts with the Native American population in what are now the western states. The Maxim machine gun eventually replaced the Gatling gun, but the crude hand-driven weapon heralded what was to come. During the brutal trench warfare of World War I, untold thousands fell.
I don't know what to think. 1898, that's when the like Gatling gun was a thing. How the fuck are you supposed to wrap your head around that one, right? Back then, I don't know, like, cars wasn't a thing yet, right? First Model T and everything, I'm pretty sure like starts around 1900 and late that. And even then it's like doesn't become a main thing. People are still like horse carriage and shit like that. And you have a Gatling gun. How does that make sense? When it comes to killing people, we've always been a step ahead. Look at the nuclear weapons. It feels like a step ahead even today. Like it's a nuke, for fuck's sake. It's just like it flattens city really fast. Right? Fallout, the TV show Fallout's first scene where they drop multiple nukes. That is not realistic. Because as soon as the real bomb drops, the flash of that would be insane. You'll be near blinded. You won't see like a drop and then explosion like it's a TNT or something and just like mushroom cloud. No, it would be insanely bright.
Machine gun fire. Number 2. The atomic bomb. The United States developed the atomic bomb during the height of the Second World War under a program called the Manhattan Project. The project kicked off in 1939 when the Advisory Committee on Uranium told President Franklin Roosevelt that the element would provide a possible source of bombs with a destructiveness vastly greater than anything now known. Work on the bomb went into overdrive after the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. When the United States formally entered World War II against Nazi Germany and Imperial Japan. Much of the urgency was driven by the belief that the Nazis were working on their own version of the bomb. The project eventually succeeded and yielded the 2 weapon designs that ultimately brought the Second World War to an end.
Did you see that clip? How the cloud wave went past at start and the like light, the brightness was like changing because it's like pulsating light is coming towards you. So if you're like 3 bombs dropping in a city, it won't be just some mushroom cloud bomb. It would be like insanely bright. You won't be able to process them. 1, 2, 3, just like everything. I think Fallout 4 did better job at like showing nuclear weapon than the show did at the start. But I guess it's a pretty thing. People can, okay, there you go.
August 6, 1945, a lone B-29 bomber called Enola Gay, commanded by Colonel Paul Tibbets, destroyed the city of Hiroshima with a single 15-kiloton nuclear weapon called Little Boy. A few days later, a 21-kiloton yield weapon called Fat Man destroyed Nagasaki on August 9, 1945. Seeing the writing on the wall, the Emperor of Japan ordered an unconditional surrender. The world would never be the same with the dawn of the atomic era.
See this image right here. It looks like Fallout 4's southern map, right? Close to the glowing sea where the bomb dropped. This is what I like about Fallout, right? Or Bethesda in kind of general. You can hate Bethesda all you want, but they'll try to take things from real life events and actually try to mimic that. Look at those like trees and how they look. This is how the south end of the Fallout 4 map looks. This is insane.
Number 3. Precision-guided weapons. Since the 1970s, one of America's decisive advantages in war has been the ability to hit targets precisely.
Yeah, technology right
During
here.
most of history, war has basically been about throwing a huge volume of fire at a target with a small chance of actually hitting anything. The introduction of precision-guided weapons changed all that. For example, when the 8th Air Force launched a massive air raid to knock out German ball-bearing plants in 1943, it launched around 400 B-17 bombers to hit the targets. Most of the bombs, dropped at appalling cost in men and aircraft, didn't even come close to hitting their targets.
What is that bomb again? I forgot. What was that bomb? I don't know which video I saw recently. But it's a bomb that is made to specifically target a person in a moving car. Right? What was that bomb? Yeah, it was a sword bomb, right? Like it has like a sharpnel swords or something comes out. So basically it doesn't have explosive element to it, so it can specifically hit the target that you're trying to hit. That is insanity. That is the level of precision that's like, I've been watching a lot of videos, and one thing I've realized that when it comes to accuracy, any military conflict, accuracy isn't as much as it's not a Call of Duty, right? There's not gonna be 90-95% accuracies, right? Even in Navy, where most of the like torpedoes and things misses. So having that kind of accuracy, looking back then, is insanity. The level of control we have now.
That all changed towards the end of the Vietnam War. Number 4. Stealth.
Yeah, Israel's F-35 entered Iran, right? And did certain damage as a retaliation to something, right? Most people don't, they can't tie it back to Israel. And Israel saying, oh, it wasn't us, or like, they're doing it in a way that they can like back away. Why? Because F-35s were involved. Now, yes, Iran can detect F-35. A lot of countries can do it. But where? Where specifically? Stealth. This is US stealth, basically.
With the development of ever more capable Soviet surface-to-air weapons during the 1960s and 1970s, the United States Air Force had to come up with a solution to defeat the ever-increasing threat. The answer was stealth technology, which would reduce an aircraft's radar cross-section and infrared signature. Ironically, it was a Soviet scientist by the name of Pyotr Ufimtsev who first discovered the equations to develop a low-radar, cross-section aircraft. Ufimtsev's work eventually came to the attention of Lockheed engineer Dennis Overholzer, who then developed the configuration for the first stealth aircraft, which he called the Hopeless Diamond. The Hopeless Diamond eventually evolved into the Lockheed F-117.
I mean, it looks like a diamond. Look at that. Look at those all edges and things. Hopeless diamond. Yeah, it does look like a diamond. The Nighthawk, basically, like it looks like really like beefed up version of any other stealth plane, and then later B-2 and B-21 is like much sleeker than that. But look at that. This was the first stealth.
The world's first Number 5. drones.
Yeah, on the name of drones, next generation of air dominance is being built alongside drones. And people see this picture right here. This is the drone people think of. Not really. Was that like a infamous, what is it called, Night Star or whatever, the newer drone technology people are developing? It's supposed to be what, SR-72 or something like that, right? Night Star. It's supposed to be big ass drone with a big size like B2 or something, but it's like manless. It can maneuver fast, it can go fast, it's like stealth. So something like that in smaller scale is going to accompany next generation of air dominance. Now you can think that is like multiple satellite drones with a mothership that is like NGAD or F-35 like plane, right? That shit is insane. That is next level. So people are like, oh, wait a minute, people are catching up to, USA, China has this, Russia has this, even Turkey is making this, 5th generation. Yeah, US is already thinking of going ahead. In 5-10 years, we're going to have the same situation we had 20 years ago where US is way too ahead and everybody's still trying to catch up.
When Abe Karem first developed the NAT, which eventually evolved in the General Atomics MQ-1 Predator, he probably could not have imagined his invention would herald a revolution in the ways wars are fought. Instead of risking lives over the battlefield, American forces can fight remotely with these...
What was that you put quarter or whatever, like one coin in and in the play game. I still remember when I was very little, there was games like that. There were game parlors where you did that thing with the button mashing and everything. So anybody who was good at that, there you go, you can fly drone now.
These new systems. While initially considered a passing fad, the past 15 years have shown that unmanned aircraft are here to stay, and war will never be the same. The MQ-1 Predator, which was first introduced over the Balkans in 1990s, is a crude aircraft. Its follow-on, the MQ-9C Reaper, is a little more sophisticated. But it's the start of something that will change warfare forever. Aircraft like the carrier-based Northrop Grumman X-47B are starting to show the true potentials of such machines. Indeed, aircraft without pilots might be the dominant weapon during the remaining decades of this century. As recently as yesterday, Navy Secretary Ray Mabus told an audience that the US Navy will never buy another manned strike fighter again after the F-35C. And...
I mean, I don't know, man. That feels like a bit of reach. You're still gonna need manned aircraft. You can't just rely on everything on like drone technology. You're still gonna need eyes on the sky until AI becomes too strong. It might not be a thing after that if AI becomes too strong. I don't know. But yeah, until then, you're still gonna need someone there. So I don't know.
And if Mabus's vision comes to fruition, unmanned aircraft will give the US unmatched capabilities well into the future.
Basically kamikaze attack, but no humans are, hurt. That's insane. That's what this gives you. Imagine if Japan had like unmanned aircraft in World War II. That would have been too overpowered. Well, there you go. 5 reasons. Yeah, the reason is basically US is always ahead. I mean, come on, man. You can't. It's like if you put if this is a video game, you have to put stats on like strength, intelligence, agility, whatever. Every stat is ahead when it comes to America, right? They have the best economy. They are literally leading the technology. They are the technology. Microchip was invented there, right? With the Apollo program and everything that world uses. Everything America does, world catches up to that and uses that, right? You are the best economy, right? And you think like, okay, so they probably don't have enough manpower to physically. No, they have like 400 million people, and they do significant enough things, right? Physically with manpower. So it's not like they're like small countries. 400 million is not small. When it comes to India and China, that feels like a very small number. But compared to everybody else, compared to UK, Russia, 400 million is not a small number, right? So they have a lot of people. They have the biggest economy. They are leading the technology thing. They have the agile like military for decades. I mean, people say like, okay, China and India is gonna overtake USA in like economy, maybe, but that is just one stat, one linear thought, right? There are many things that makes it complex. I don't see US going down from the #1 spot anytime soon. for a long time, just because of the history and all the monopolies they have. But yeah. Right, well, that was Wanna Fight America? 5 reasons the US military will make you dead. Watch on US military news. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe. That would really help out this channel. And there we are, know which type of videos to react to more. You know, I like watching equipment videos like this. Basically, tech is always interesting where the tech is going. And yeah, I'll see you next time.